Hey guys, I am here with a book review for you as promised, and it is Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. And I'm going to start my review now by saying that this book was great. I really loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 actually. So it's really big and intimidating, but it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and start my review with the cover as well, because that's one of my components. And I like this cover, but it's not like wow, like amazing to me. I do like how there's the Andy and then whoops, there's Alexandrian right there. And so I liked that. I thought that it was cool, and it does have like that old-timey look, but I wasn't like immediately drawn to it. I wanted it because I loved Northern Light, and I only really wanted to read it out of association with that. So I probably actually wouldn't even have read it if it was a different author. So the cover just wasn't that exciting to me. And then the synopsis is: an angry, grieving 17-year-old musician faces expulsion from her prestigious Brooklyn private school, travels to Paris to complete a school assignment, and uncovers a diary written during the French Revolution by a young actress attempting to help a tortured, imprisoned little boy, Louis Charles, the lost king of France. So that's the synopsis and everything like that. And then going on to the one thing, I'm reading it from my notepad. The one thing I did like about this book is Jennifer Donnelly has an amazing way of writing, and I know about the French Revolution. I've read about it in history. Everybody has, but this made it so much more understandable and relatable because she doesn't just talk about the kings, the duchess, the royal family, like the lineages, and any of that. Like she does talk about it, but she talks more about like the emotions and what they must have been feeling, and what the people in the city, like the commoners, did. And I thought that made it a little bit more relatable and not so cold, I guess I'm trying to say, and I just really enjoyed that, and actually made me want to learn more about the Russian Revolution, or the French Revolution. I always say the Russian, I don't know why. But, so that was one thing I liked. And then there was two things that I didn't like. One of the things was, and I have to brief by saying I probably would be this way if I had what happened to me with Andy, but I found Andy a little bit annoying sometimes just because she was so depressed and she was always talking about how many pills she had to take. And I kind of found that a little bit like tiresome. But I have to say, if that happened to me, I don't know what I would do. So, and then the other thing is completely like irrelevant, but Andy has a best friend named Vijay or VJ, and his mom is so annoying. Like every time she talks to this guy, his mom is like, "Are you studying? Are you doing this?" And she's so hard on him, and it just drove me nuts. And I don't know why. It just didn't, because it doesn't really matter because he's not a main character. But I don't know why, it just bugged me. So, that is the what I like and didn't like, and then on to the normal review. I really enjoyed this book. It was really good. It had a great message, and Andy is suffering the loss of her little brother named Truman, and he was 10 when he died, and she feels like it's her fault, and so she kind of just goes into this deep, deep depression, and she starts failing all of her classes, and she's an amazingly talented musician. And she's going to school for music, and she's going to a very prestigious, really nice, expensive school, and she's failing all of her classes. She doesn't really care about anything. And so her father, who is a Nobel Prize winner geneticist, he decides to take her to France, Paris, because he's working on something for work, and so they stay with a couple named Lilia and G. And so G is a historian, and he's really into history, and so he knowing that she loves music, lets her play a guitar that is from a very, very long time ago and in the 1700s. And so she starts to play, and then she discovers the girl's Alexandrine, her diary of her account of the French Revolution, and she is actually the caretaker of Louis Charles, the 8-year-old little boy, the lost king of France. And so she kind of gets sucked into this diary, and they're the same age. They essentially have the same name, and it's just her account of the French Revolution. And it was amazing. Like, the way she wrote Alex's character, like, it was still kind of like the language of the old days, but it still had a lot of modern language so you can understand it. And I almost wished that I didn't have the present day Andy. I almost wanted this whole book to be about Alex's diary, but it was really good, and the writing was just so articulate and so awesome, and the ending was crazy. Like, I was not expecting that at all, and I thought it was a little bit cheesy, but it's still like, oh my god, it gave me chills. Like, I could not put this book down, and it was really great. There was a lot of good characters in there, and she made it so believable that there are some characters that didn't exist in the French Revolution, but I was like Googling them because I wanted to figure out like all this music that she's referring to. I wanted to hear it because I kind of like do that. If someone plays a song in a book, then I want to listen to it because I want to know like what they're talking about. And so I Googled this guy, this oh god, what's his name? Malherbeau? I think it's Malherbeau. And I couldn't find him, and I was like, what the heck? And then I realized, oh, he's not real. So that's how believable she is, and it was awesome. And the pages are decked, so it kind of gives it like an old time feel. But let me see if I can find her diary. Is the margins are a little bit bigger, but that's the text. And it was just the ending. I just cry because you know what happens because it's history, so of course you can tell. But it was just so sad. And Louis Charles was so sweet. He was the sweetest little kid, and it's just sad to know that he was locked away in the prison and just tortured. And he died after 2 years. He just went crazy, and they found his heart in the chamber or whatever he was in. And that's why Andy's father wanted to go there, is because he's a world famous geneticist, and they wanted him to uncover the DNA to make sure that it really is Louis Charles, the son of Marie Antoinette. And so since they're the same age, the Truman and Louis Charles, Truman is her brother that died, she just took this severe interest in it, and it was just really great. And it was just like I kind of sat there and I was like, wow, I'm really speechless. So, and I also didn't know that Jennifer Donnelly, it took her 10 years to write this book, from the time that she found out about the heart, and that's real. The times that she figured out about the heart and she started just going to poke around and write, it took her 10 years. So that is just incredible to have that much dedication, and I really recommend that you guys read this book. It's really amazing, and the ending is just incredible, and it really makes you think about our society and how grateful we are to have freedom. And just all, there's just one part about the musician, and he doesn't have coffee, and it just, like, I don't want to spoil it because it's in a certain part of it's close to the ending, but if you guys have read it, the musician doesn't have coffee, and so now it just makes me laugh because it's so expensive back then, and now it's like $1 for like a full thing of coffee. And it's just funny how it really revolutionized the just our society. and it is about the Russian, or, oh my God, the French Revolution, but it's also like about our internal revolution. Yes, I'm retarded. It's late. Revolution, and it's just our struggle with ourselves and just how we evolve. We're constantly evolving into something else, and it's really great, and I highly recommend that you guys read this book. It was awesome. 5 out of 5 stars for me. Awesome writing, but I think I'm going to love anything that Jennifer Donnelly does. She's one of my favorites, and I would almost compare her to Philippa Gregory when it comes to historical fiction. So really good author, good book, really nice. I mean, it is long, but it's worth it. Some of the parts, though, are a little bit long and kind of drawn out, and I didn't skip any pages, but I was tempted to, especially towards the middle. I'm just like, okay, let's go. But the ending and the beginning were awesome, and there is a love interest, but it's like not even like an aspect of the book. It's mostly about Andy and Alex's stories. So if you guys aren't really interested in love stories, then this would probably be a good book for you guys to read. But like I said before, it's great, and the ending, did not expect it. Really good. Just totally blew me away, and it's a witty and funny book, and Andy drives me nuts sometimes, but I can't help but to love her and feel sorry for her and sympathize with her because of what she has to go through. But yeah, definitely get this book, guys, if you have a chance, and it's super good. I couldn't put it down, so highly, highly recommend it if you guys are interested in this kind of stuff. I'm interested in history. I love historical fiction. It's one of, like, besides YA, it's one of my favorites. Like, I love The Other Boleyn Girl, The Red and White Queen by Philippa Gregory. Those are awesome books if you guys are interested. They're based on true stories, but she also threw in some fiction in there. And she's also an author that you can't really tell if it's real or not. And so I love that kind of stuff. It really just is interesting. But if for a YA historical fiction, this is truly one of its kind. So definitely read it. Right now, I am reading Dirty Little Secrets, and I'm about 20 pages in, so I can't really tell you guys what that's about. But I probably should have a review of that maybe on Friday or Saturday. I don't know. But until then, I will see you later, and I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day, and happy reading. Bye.